Okay, I'm going to get straight to the point. No BS is exactly why you guys are facing these problems and how to overcome them and what problems you guys are facing. I'm going to go into depth on them and try and help you guys pass your funded accounts, help you guys get better at trading, being consistent with your trading, get better at passing your evaluations. So the first thing I'm gonna go over is over trading, and I've struggled with this a lot. I'm not gonna lie. First, I used to overtrade a lot, and then later on, I think I started entering twice or three times. Now only one trade. If it fails, I'm done, out the market for the day. So I take about one a day, depends, sometimes two. So the main problem with this is you have to wait for the perfect setup. So a lot of people trade, like this coincides with dopamine trading. This coincides with just trading for fun. So you should treat it as a job, kind of. You shouldn't be waiting. You shouldn't be constantly taking trades. You should wait for the perfect setup. You should have a checklist. Write down, okay, I need an order block rejection onto this. Like, you write down everything you need. Have everything in check. Once everything is in check, you take a trade. If it's not, you don't take a trade. You lose the trade, you don't re-enter. Why? Because sometimes market doesn't respect your strategy, and that doesn't mean you should strategy hop. I'm gonna hop onto that. I'm gonna talk about that in a bit. But sometimes price doesn't respect your strategy. So when it doesn't respect your strategy, you just let it go. You leave, because sometimes I've seen a lot of people, it's happened to me too. We try and catch the reversal. But at the end of the day, there is no reversal, and market just goes down the whole day, and we end up losing all our money. So the second thing, strategy hopping. So strategy hopping or strategy skipping is like, imagine you were to build a house, yeah, but each time, like, you would build 25% of this house. You'd move on to the next 25% of the next 25%, and then 25% of the next. You build 25% of house A, B, C, and D. But someone else who's a profitable trader who started at the same time as you, built one house, 100% through, and he was done with that. He built the house. He got his payout. He's consistently profitable. And strategy skipping is kind of like, you just need to find what works for you. Everything, like, different strategies work for different people. Some people are better at spotting some confluences than others. Some people are better at order blocks, for example, than, I don't even know, RSI or something. But you guys just have to find your strategy and stick to it 100%. Never change your strategy. So the third thing is risk management. So a lot of people risk like 20% or 30%. That's insane. You can't risk your whole account. If I was to take a trade with 30% risk, everyone goes on losing streaks. Even the most profitable traders, everyone goes on losing streaks. So if you were to take a trade, with 30% risk and lost 3 times, you only have 10% of your account left. So you have 10% of the account. Like what are you doing, bro? Your account is gone. So the other thing I want to talk about is fear. So fear is kind of like, I've been here. Fear is kind of like, I'm taking this trade and price goes down. I'm minus 20 right now, goes back up to break even, and I take my money out to break even. I'm scared to stay on the trade. I don't trust my trade. This also stems from like the same thing I spoke about in overtrading. So when you're not confident, you're usually not sticking to your rules or not sticking to your strategy. So once everything is in check and you're only taking perfect A plus trades, this is not gonna be a big problem. But sometimes it will. But if that's the case, then you shouldn't enter or re-enter. So the last thing I want to talk about is overconfidence. So a lot of people are just over, like, so confident. Like, I'm gonna make 1,000 next month. I'm gonna make $2,000 today. But the thing is that the people who are like, they're like, I can win every day and I'm so profitable. You're gonna have a big crash after a loss. So there's gonna come a time where you're gonna go on a small losing streak, loss. Your confidence is gonna be destroyed. You're gonna be scared, and you're gonna fall back into the fear zone. Uh, it's the same thing. Like, overconfidence drops down to lack of confidence, and then you're just back to fear. You're scared to take trades. So you guys shouldn't be overconfident. You should keep it simple. Keep it really simple. And I see a lot of people with the risk management. Oh, I didn't talk to you guys about this one. So with risk management, a lot of people think that, yeah, but my account isn't too big. Like, I want to grow my account. I can't grow by risking 1% or 2%. So what you guys want to do is get the skill in check, and then you can move on to a funded. Once you have all of these in check, all of these, because psychology is like 90% of trading. Once you have everything in check, you move on to the funded. You get a payout, or you get a job. Your job funds your trading. So you start growing your account, and instead of risking like 1%, for example, you can move on to like 5%, or like depends on your strategy. But like, what was I saying? Yeah, so job and prop firm, you use those to build money, to build like to get some money in the bank, and then you can put them into your account and grow from there. So I hope this helped you guys, and yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.